And hello and welcome to this week's thrilling, exciting episode of Mithras, the Island of Vomkays, I think it's called. You know
Vomkays, yes.
You know when you suddenly have a memory block and think, what was that again? What was that again? So, yes.
If you put Vomkays into the Google Translate, it comes back with little chickens.
No, it doesn't.
Do you realise you've spelt it wrong?
Have I spelt it
Either
wrong?
on the video or on the title text. You've got Vom's K on one and Vomkays on the other.
Yeah, that's
Hashtag pro streamer.
That's because I can spell it any way I want.
It just means if you Google one of them, you get nothing.
Yeah, well,
So you're shortchanging half the search, as you see.
I don't think. Well, one of them.
I searched for it just to see whether or not it meant anything that I could link in.
Did
with
you
the
really?
adventure.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I'd thought about that now and just sort of like thought of something really cryptic.
It's like in Shadowrun. I spent ages searching for chili bugs.
Did you?
And the other things to see whether or not I could work out what they could be used.
Well, they were real things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'd spent ages searching for it. Anyway, go on.
So you were cheating?
Well, no.
Information
Matrix search.
Matrix search.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, that's what you call it. That's what you call it. Anyway, hello and welcome to this week's thrilling episode of Mithras RuneQuest 6 or / somewhere in there. And as usual, we will be joining these four fearless adventurers on the next exciting episode. Is this episode 4?
This is episode 4, yeah.
That's. I was trying to figure out whether or not it was 3 or 4. But
No,
I think it's actually 4. Was it really?
It doesn't feel like 4. It doesn't even feel like 3.
So the first one, when did the first one finish?
As we landed? No.
The seventh
First
year.
one finished.
The first one finished on the outside of the temple.
Yeah, just before the painted men attacked. And then the second one finished just after the snake attacked.
Yes.
By the statue.
Yeah,
the third one finished
just after
Here.
yeah.
Where we are now.
So this is the
Yeah,
fourth
yeah.
one.
Right, episode 4 of Mithras, when we find the party investigating an island. And before I tell you what they have found and a brief synopsis of it, let me give the players an opportunity to introduce not only themselves, but their character that they will be playing today. And we'll start off on my right, which is going to be you, Chugawugga. Off you go.
Hello, I'm Chugawugga. And I'm playing Gulliver, or Gully, as he likes to be known as. He is a sorcerer.
Mumbo
17
Jumbo.
winters, young, scrawny, mop of ginger hair, freckled complexion, very much like me. Tends to talk a lot, does Gully. He's been sent to the New World by his master, who is called Master Healy. Exactly why he's going there, well, the other members of the party don't know yet, but eventually it will come to light.
I think I know.
You know.
Yeah.
You
Master
know several of his
Yes. I know.
Because Master Healy got fed up with Gully's talking.
Yep. And wanted some peace and quiet.
Yes. Anyway, and below Gulliver, we have Mr. Big Beastie playing Brigs. Off you go, Big Beastie.
I am Big Beastie, and I am playing Briggs. He is a hunter, very good with a bow, and he not much is really known at this stage about him, apart from he was kicked out of his tribe, his nomadic tribe, when he was young. Now he's in his he's about early 20s, I believe.
Yeah. Can I just say that in your little token, you look very dashing. I was looking at it the other time. Have you seen it? He says, yeah, he's a handsome young lad. I see. I was going to say bloke, but then changed it to lad at the last time, so you got blad, which sounds like bladder. Which a shorter version of bladder. Anyway, let's zip across to. Are you around the right way? Yes, to Longshanks EPG. Who are you playing?
Hi guys, I am Longshanks EPG. I am playing the grim-faced warrior of the party called Hengist.
Who's got?
And he's the tank of the group, and he has a penchant for chopping people's limbs off, including their heads.
And
I'll leave it at that.
And you have plats.
I do have plats.
Yeah,
I'm a warrior. I'm proud.
Well,
do you have ribbons in the end?
No, they're plaited with the bones of my enemies.
I was looking at the picture, and I was trying to figure out which part of your hair is actually plaited.
It's like this thing.
That's the plaits are actually his hair ear. His ear.
Yeah.
That's coming round for it. Yeah. Because I was looking at
I once considered growing my nasal hair and then upcombing it just to give me a bit
yes,
of hair.
I can vouch for that. And above Longshanks EPG, we have Sprocketeer.
Hi, I'm Sprocketeer. I'm playing Owen Ap Owen, a blacksmith who is on a journey to rid himself of his past.
Oh, yeah, he has a very unfortunate past, doesn't he?
Yes.
I often
he just wants to get away from it.
I often read your past background when I'm in a sad mood, in a melancholy mood, and it just makes
our tune music.
Yeah. It does. It just makes me even sadder, and then I, consider several options.
Does it involve horseshoes?
Horseshoe?
What? With him being a blacksmith?
No,
it might, but we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that at all. So, yes. So that is the faithful party, and I would just like to remind you that.
Did you say fateful?
Faithful, and fateful is probably a better. And just to let you know,
I was going to say, is this something that we don't know?
Just round Big B's face. If you hover somewhere around Big B's face, you will see me actually doing the truffle shuffle, which allows you to play various games. Various games, and I do have a poll for tonight, guys, because I'm doing the same poll as I do for the other games.
Loads of them in the UK.
To vote for you who they think is the best role player, the best character, etc., etc. So I'm going to start that off. And
before you do, can I just point out that Billy Bob is not Billy.
He's not here.
Brigs is not on the poll.
Is he not?
Well, I shouldn't have said that. No, there's 4 options, but only 3 of them have names.
Oh.
I just thought, in the fairness of Briggs, not the fact that it's now made my 1/3 chance go into a 1/4 chance of getting a vote.
I haven't started the poll yet. Does it already appear?
We can see it.
If you click on it, it says previous poll, and there's only 3 names. 4 names.
Is it now?
Yeah, it's there. Current poll live.
Okay.
I've got 50 coins. I've got 50 waffle coins now.
I know.
I'm going to redeem it to ask a question.
Yes, you can.
Is that what you do? Click on waffle.
There's various ways that you can go.
Is 1,000 coins. If I get 1,000 coins and I hit it, will you unfollow me on Twitter?
Right, okay then. I'm going to think of some more custom rewards for people for certain redemptions, etc. So anyway, let me quickly bring up the faithful watchers onto viewers, onto what's actually happening. So the party was on their way to Lindo to start off a new life in a new world, and they have been hired by a captain. Captain
SeaTide.
SeaTide, well done. I like to keep you busy, so be prepared. SeaTide, and you were sailing on the ship called
The Mary
Wave
Rose.
Quest.
Wavecrest. Yes, well done. And you came across an island, and the captain was very keen to go on this island, even though even the mere mention of the island actually caused a near mutiny on board the the Wavecrest. Yeah, anyway, so the party went onto the island. They enjoyed a bit of rowing to get there, and they headed off into the jungle. They avoided traps and snakes and savage painted men. But the poor captain was very, very ill as they got closer and closer to what seemed to be an ancient temple. Once they got into the temple, he revealed to them that they needed to find an amulet. And they had battles against a multi-armed statue. And they also had battles against a snake. And eventually they had a battle against a priestess, which Gully and Brigs figured out how to actually defeat in the end, which was quite lucky. And at the end of it, I think, if I'm right, let me just click. I think were you waiting outside or inside?
No, we were actually in the room with the elephant.
Right. Okay, then. So
it was either the elephant room or it was the ex-statue room. I think it was in the room with the elephant.
There you are.
Yeah,
you're in the elephant room. There you go.
Because the other thing was Captain SeaTide. He wasn't really being protected all that well, and he took a couple of knife wounds.
He did. That's it. And the priestess stabbed him a couple of times, and you can see he's currently prone. And I remember now, you guys were resting because I can see that you're currently fatigued, mostly apart from you, Hengist. So you are luckily able to rest up, which means that will remove your
fatigue levels.
Fatigue levels. Sorry, yeah, I was just doing several things at the same time.
How do you do that again?
No, in was his.
I do it that, yeah. And just to let people know that the little green dot that has the various numbers by it, that is the character's action points. So they will keep those up to date as we actually progress. So those are how many actions they can do within a turn, a turn. Yes, sorry, turn. So that's how that actually works. So you spend the night. Who took the amulet?
It's around the captain's neck.
Yeah, cool. Okay then. So we
thought maybe it could. It might have magical properties.
Well, yeah, and the captain sort of like he seems to be a lot healthier than what he was, but his illness and his sort of like inability to do things at the present moment in time is not because of the sickness that he had before, but more because of the 2 knife wounds that he had in his side. And I think, Gully, you actually healed him with magic, I think, and stabilized him.
Yeah, I just stabilized it. I couldn't do anything more than...
And I think the yellow dots, is that torches that you've got?
Those are torches, yeah. Yeah,
excellent. Now, just to let you know, I posted last week's adventure, as I always do, on the Mithras Reddit, and I've had various feedback from it, which is all good. But just to let you know, I was playing one of the rules incorrectly. So if a mob chooses not to parry, or you choose not to parry, it's not classed as a fumble, it's classed as a failure rather than... So, for example, if you hit, rather than getting 2 specials, you would only get 1 special. And then that would be it. So that's some very helpful feedback that I got back. It's always good when people feedback some positives so we can improve our gameplay. Okay, so we will start the adventure as if we have picked up from, you've had a night's sleep, you are rested once more, and like I said before, the captain is, he's not ill because of the previous thing that you expected, his illness. He's not actually ill because of that. He's actually ill because of his knife wounds that Gully has actually stabilized.
Is he going to be able to, is he unconscious?
He's actually coming round this morning. You notice that he still is not 100% healthy, but he does mention that he can walk, but not for a huge amount of time.
Okay, just on a side note, did I get any magic points back for the rest?
Yeah, everybody would have got magic points back as usual.
And what about luck?
Yeah, all luck is refreshed. Yeah, for a long rest.
So I need to change my fatigue.
Yeah, if you change your fatigue should all be back to normal now. I've changed your character colour, but you need to do your own characters.
There we go. So just change it back to fresh.
Fresh. Yeah, nice and fresh this morning. Okay, what would you like to do, guys?
Gully's going to go up to Master SeaTide and he's going to say, how are you feeling this morning, Master? How are you feeling, Captain SeaTide?
That's right, that's a bit of a pirate's voice. It's all right, it'll go into Somerset halfway through, but he says, I be all right. He says, I'll be all right. Just get me back to my ship. Once me back at my ship.
We found it. We found the amulet. We've put it around your neck.
He sort of like grasps it with his hand and sort of like, yes, boy, I can feel its power flowing through me, protecting me. You don't believe how much this means to me.
Gully's going to go close up to him and he's going to go, I kept an eye on them. They didn't take any of your money either. It's all still there. If you check, that little box is still tucked away underneath your tunic.
He goes, hey, thank you, lad.
So we need to get back to your ship now. That's it. We can get back to your ship, and then we can get back. We can carry on our journey to Lindo.
It would seem a very good plan. We need to get back as soon as possible. It's going into Scottish now, I think.
Are you okay to walk? We could do that funny shield thing where we carry on a shield.
No, lad.
You could be like royalty.
Lad, I know you have good. I'll be fine. I just need to walk. And that's Welsh.
You let us know when you need a rest, and then we can rest, and we can maybe build a campfire and cook food and things like that.
Okay.
But we really need to get back as soon as possible.
That's good.
I don't like being in this temple. This temple is really, really nasty.
Okay, so you head off back through the forest and through the jungle, and it's quite. Can you all just make some perception rolls for me as you head off back through?
Oh, boo!
Oh,
Ticking that puppy.
Yeah. Oh, well done, Owen. Crits rolls.
Which is the fumble one?
The fumble is the exclamation mark. You fumbled every roll.
Angus once again is it short-sighted or is it long-sighted that he can't see past his nose?
Long-sighted. Long-sighted, you can't see things close to, but you can see things far away. So
in that case, he's just blind. He can't see a thing.
So I'm long-sighted, so I can see. If I take my glasses off, I can see sort of like halfway across the country, but I can't. I can't see. I could actually. The only thing that stops my eyesight is the curvature of the earth, really. And that's it. So, okay, so you head back through the jungle and you make a stop halfway in a similar way that you did while you as you were approaching the temple, and you take your watches, as you can see from your perception rolls. But the jungle seems vaguely quiet. And well, actually, vaguely quiet is probably the incorrect word for it, because there seems to be, even as you march through it, heading back to your boat, it's almost as if the jungle is coming more alive. There's the chatter of monkeys and the call of parrots and macaws in the treetops, and it's as if something's been lifted of the jungle that was once suppressing it and making it almost like a dull place to be. And it's almost like got a happier feel to it. And your journey continues. And as you continue to journey towards the coastline, you notice that Captain SeaTide actually gets more and more chirpy and more sort of like himself once more. And he starts to regale you with talks of legendary voyages that he's had, and sword fights, and when he once saw a mermaid, and when he once dived to collect shells and was captured underground by a giant clam and had to force his way out with only a dagger. And he goes on and sort of like continues to tell you these almost like tall tales.
Gully's going to walk next to him and just ask him a whole load of questions about these stories and trying to get more information, trying to get him to talk more and more about them. So Gully likes anything like that.
Aye, lad, there was a time when the octopus wrapped its 13 arms round me. I could feel its tentacles hard against my neck, squeezing me so tight that I thought my eyes would pop out. It was just lucky that I had that coin.
What happened?
Well, if you ever get attacked by an octopus, boy, always have a coin with you. What did I do? Quite simply, I just flicked it in the air. And once the octopus had a quick look up at it, I drove my fist straight through its eye. It released its tentacles on me, and I tied it up before it could say Jack Sparrow.
Gully's going to put his hand in his tunic and just make sure that he's still got that coin, that coin that he picked up off the. That's a big ship.
That's your boat. I just need to make. I just need to make your characters a bit bigger. That's all, because you've changed sort of like we've changed a bit of perspective.
Does Captain SeaTide almost seem to be getting healthier, or? I mean, I don't have any skill in medicine or anything like that, but is he walking faster? Is he?
Yeah, most definitely. He's sort of like, it's almost as if he's got a spring in his step that once was sort of like gone and disappeared. And but when you first left the temple, almost like he would have his arm round Owen or Brigs for support. But as you've sort of like got closer and closer to the shore, you've noticed that he's sort of like got more perkier, and there's a spring in his step. And like I say, he's regaling you with stories, but also he seems to be breathing the air a lot better, and he seems to be a lot healthier, and his complexion seems to be a lot more positive as well.
Gully's going to say to him, Captain SeaTide, before we get on the boat, maybe we should check your wounds just to make sure that they're not getting infected or anything, because she stabbed you twice.
Aye, lad, he says, I know what you mean. He says, take a look at this. And he sort of like rips open his tunic. You can see that the wound down on his side is now almost like a thin, pale scar. Obviously, a lot different colour to his tanned, sea-worn skin. And you notice that the amulet, the sort of like the sun amulet, it just make a perception roll, Gully.
I didn't see. Did I make anything? Oh no.
No. It almost looks like. It almost looks like it's not on his skin anymore.
The amulet.
Yeah, it's almost as if it's slightly sunken into his skin, as if it's become almost like part of him. As if it's becoming.
Well, they don't look infected, Master SeaTide. They look.
No, okay. I be a strong.
Do you feel okay?
I feel mighty fine, young lad. He says, no, he says, I'm a healthy sort of dude. You know, the sea air makes me healthy. I can withstand
I'm glad
anything.
you said that, Captain SeaTide, because to be honest with you, I wasn't looking forward to rowing back if you weren't up to it, because I didn't do a very good job last time with rowing.
Oh, you'll be fine, lad. Fear not. You'll be fine. We can all take a turn at pulling those oars.
So, once we get back to the wave crest, is that us actually finished? Because you made us sign those. Well, you didn't make us sign those pieces of paper, but we did actually sign them, and that's why we had to go to the island to help you get this amulet. But once we get back to the wave crest, is that it? Have we finished our thing? Are we no longer under your employment?
Hengist and Briggs, can you make perception rolls for me, please?
I think that's the first time I saw it. Every time Hengist has actually done something on a perception roll. Hengist is well chuffed. You can actually see.
As what did what's Hengist? What's
Briggs isn't looking because Briggs doesn't want to be topped by Hengist.
Perception, Briggs.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise it was me.
Okay, Hengist, as you're walking down the beach, you can hear the waves to your right sort of like breaking softly over the sand. And like I said before, the whole jungle is a lot more upbeat and chirpy and almost like more alive. But you all of a sudden listen out and you hear a sound that is completely out of place. It's a sound that is like as if something is ploughing its way through the jungle, and it's also accompanied by what can only be heard related to almost like clicking sounds, as if it's some kind of two hard objects sort of like clicking together, a bit like that.
Okay. Could you ping on the map where it is, please? Or where it's coming from? Because Hengist is going to move. He's going to draw his sword, get his shield ready, and he's going to move directly in front of where he thinks the noise is coming. Shouting "Stand to."
You don't actually have time to do anything apart from draw your weapons, because just as you sort of like look around at this, something bursts its way out of the undergrowth ahead of you, right between you and the boat. It appears to be you're all familiar with these small creatures, but this appears to be some kind of huge, a lot larger than man size and woman size, large scorpion that's just sort of like pushes its way out of the undergrowth. It seems to be heading at the present moment in time, if I can find my turny thing, towards the boat. It's not actually, it doesn't look like it's seen you guys. It's almost like come straight out and it is looking at the boat. So, guys, what I would like from you, please,
is that a very big rowing boat?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or is that the big ship?
That's your
parked on the beach.
No, that's your skiff to go back.
All right. Yeah. I was wondering.
Do we need to do we need to click on our tokens to do?
Yeah, you certainly do.
Initiatives for this one. I didn't know whether or not we did.
Yeah, you certainly do. Oh look!
I'm not impressed, Hengist.
Wait! When I put his little token in, it comes out as a little piffling. It's tiny when I do the token for him. Let's see what my.
What on the turn order?
Yeah, it's tiny.
Well, you don't want it the same size as the thing.
I thought it would. I thought it would be a little bit more impressive than that. And hang on, I just need to do one more because we need a turn. We need. Oh, hang on. I'm just moving him down. I'm going to move him back once I added a turn to him.
I thought he was charging then.
Yeah.
Steady on.
Stop trying to mate my ship.
After all these amazing stories that we've heard of him, for the last however long it's taken to get there, I'm just going to stand aside and let him deal with it. So.
Well,
cool. Okay, he's going after you all. Okay, right. So this will be combat turn 1, round 1. Sorry, combat turn 1. So off we go. So Gully, you are up.
Gully's going to look in awe at this massive scorpion, see it going towards the boat, and he's going to shout, "The boat! I can't swim!" And he's going to put his hand in his tunic again. He seems to do that a lot, putting his hand in his tunic.
He quite likes putting his hand in his tunic.
He's a young boy. But instead of he's going to come out with a small disc.
Cool.
Which you've seen him use before to almost concentrate his magic through.
Okay, so
it's more like a focus that he uses.
Excellent. So that would be your free action and one action point out the way. Briggs, you're up.
Briggs, he's already going to have his bow out in his hand, so he's just going to draw an arrow. Okay.
So reloading his bow at this round. Yeah, excellent. Just turn, sorry. Right, the scorpion sort of heads towards here. I just need to make a roll. $45. And just as he comes out, he's obviously heard the commotion and sort of turns round to investigate what is actually going on up the beach. Yeah, sorry, I was doing.
Did it look like he was actually going for the skiff?
Yeah, it looked like he was actually heading towards it to start off with, mainly because you think it was probably just because that was the interesting thing there, and he probably hadn't seen or smelt or detected you. Okay then, Owen, you are up.
Drop my rucksack and ready my spear.
Cool. Brilliant. And Captain. So the Captain draws his tulwar, his sort of his fighting sword, and sort of shouts, "Attack, guys! Attack!" So he uses up his free action with that. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist had already managed to draw his sword as soon as he heard the noise. He's going to advance part of the way forward, stop, and then he's going to hunker down in a combat stance. So he's got his shield up, his left leg forward and braced, and his sword sort of like over the top of the shield, like pointing straight out towards the giant scorpion.
Cool, excellent.
And he's going to defer his turn and defend himself if he's attacked.
Yeah, well, he would have moved unless he's going to, because he's moved. So that would be his action point.
Oh, is that his action point? Sorry, I keep forgetting.
So he can stay where he is and delay his action, or he can. It's up to him.
No, he'll move and stay there.
Okay, excellent. So combat turn 2. Gully, you have got some action points left. What would you like to do?
Gully is going to outstretch his hand with the disc in it, and you hear him starting to speak words, although you can't understand what he's saying, and it's obviously that he is casting some type of spell.
Cool. Does it come off this round?
No, it takes... I'm having to use a point of shaping to extend the range of it, so it's going to take me 2 rounds to cast.
Right, got you.
So it will come out at the end of next...
Turn 3 it'll come out of.
Yeah. Although what you can see, as he's now casting it, is grey smoke starts to actually come out of the middle of this focus that he's holding, the middle of this small disc.
Right.
And starts heading towards the scorpion.
So like making its way in that general direction.
Yeah. Almost like it's feeling out, trying to. But it looks like Gully's concentrating on it to try to keep it going, if you see what I mean. Because, a bit of wind and it's smoke and it's going, but he's concentrating on it, and he's saying these words and his breath, and it's heading in the general direction at the moment.
Excellent. And Briggs, you are up.
He can't fire yet, can he?
What's your reload on your bow?
Two turns.
2, yeah. So you. What did you started to reload last turn, so turn 2 you can actually fire at the end of this turn. Yeah.
Okay, so
go.
Yeah, you
so,
do that.
So you just roll your huntsman.
It's the I was going to say it's the huntsman.
Yes, you hit. So hang on, let me just roll my parry. My evade before anybody says it to me.
No, it'd be really good if it brought one of its pincers up.
I know, but I can't. You can't parry missile weapons unless you have a shield.
A shield.
Yeah, so he would have to evade it.
That's where he scuttles over in like half a second, rips Hengist's shield off, and then uses his pincers to hold the shield.
But because he can't he can't actually literally evade, but as the arrow does come towards him, he does sort of like move his pincer up, and it does sort of like clangs off it and sort of like falls harmlessly to the ground. Owen, you're up.
Brilliant. Well, Briggs is in front of him. I can't get a clean line of shot from here, can I? How tall is this thing?
It's not actually. It's big but flat, so it's not actually towering. It's not like the statues. It's not towering above or anything like that. You could opt.
Whoops.
You could opt to just lob your spear up in the air, and hopefully to almost get the arc to make it go down onto the scorpion if you wish. You can do that. It won't be a standard. It won't be a standard to hit roll. It'll be a hard to hit roll, but I can let you have it if you want to do it.
No, I'm going to hold off and see if I can get a clear shot.
Okay then. So you're just dithering then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, dither. Okay. Brilliant. And so Captain's next.
Actually, sorry. No, can I move to the side of it?
Yeah, go. Where about?
Just
yeah, that's cool. So the captain actually starts to move. Hang on, I'm on. Sorry, the whatchamacallit's wrong. It's in meters. It's in feet rather than meters. So the captain moves his movement. So Hengist, you look over to one side and you see that the captain is sort of like charging past you with his tulwar waving, going like this towards the scorpion. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist is going to think, good on him, and he's going to keep pace and finish slightly in front, but to make sure that the scorpion goes for him first, because he's obviously got a massive shield he can hide behind.
Okay.
He's going to be keeping pace with the Captain SeaTide.
Cool. And we're into turn 3. So Gully, I think you've...
Yeah, so Gully is finishing casting his spell. The smokes, these grey tendrils of smoke have been getting closer and closer to the large scorpion.
Yeah.
But just as they get just about to come up to him, Gully fumbles the words. He obviously's made a mistake somewhere, and the smoke just dissolves. It just disappears. There's none of it left. It's just gone.
Maybe the captain running out sort of like
might well have disrupted his
got you wrong.
casting.
Yeah. So
he might have broken one of the beams. He might have crossed the beam.
He might have crossed the beam, and that was it.
He should never cross the beams.
Who else has got action points left?
Hengist.
Off you go then.
Hengist is going to stay where he is this time. He's going to stop slightly short of the big scorpion because he's aware of the massive tail and the stinger on the end. So he's going to stop from what he thinks is just out of reach of the tail, and he's going to hunker down and get ready to defend himself.
Cool.
Because he's not stupid enough to charge into that.
So is he readying his action, delaying his action?
Yeah. He's delaying his action to defend himself if attacked.
Cool. Okay then. So I think that's it now. I think nobody has any combat, any APs left. So we're on to round 2. So if, hang on, let me just I'll just get rid of your initiatives, and you can add your initiatives. Go for it. Ooh! Wow, Gully.
Boom! Headshot.
That's unbelievable. That. Wow! Look at you lot. That.
Surprise myself sometimes. I don't even know what I rolled there. What did I roll?
No idea. Well, you must have
rolled an 8.
You must have rolled a 10.
I don't know. I just pressed the initiative.
1d10 plus a whole load of random coding, brackets 8 plus a whole load of random coding. So I'm guessing you rolled an 8.
It must be a 10 or you must have rolled a 10 somewhere. Okay, so there you are. We're up to that's what we're up to. So
I have an initiative bonus of 12 apparently.
Oh, cool. Nice. So you must have rolled an 8, yeah. Right, Gully, you are up.
Seeing that his spell with his focus has failed, Gully's instead going to switch to the spells that he's more happy with, which are sort of like a quick spell, almost like a cantrip than a normal spell. And he's going to point at the scorpion with his fingers crossed like that, and he's going to say, "Have it," and cast a spell.
Cool. What's the range of those spells?
I'm not sure off the top of my... I think it's maybe something like power times 10.
Oh, yeah, so it's fine. So that will, I think, if I'm right, do...
I'll see whether or not I hit yet.
Oh, no.
No.
You don't hit. Sorry, I forgot about you to hit roll there. Drat.
Oh, I could have just had it.
Yeah. Oh, no, because I like the blackness. I like the glossy black of that scorpion. I think it looks cool. Okay.
Gully's going to go, Sam!
Owen, you're up.
All right, Owen is launching his spear.
Cool, go for it.
Where I find the button. Oh, did I roll damage there? I did. Oops.
Yeah, you need to hit first.
Yep. Combat style.
Yes,
20.
yeah, nice. Roll 1d20.
Take that.
Oh, hang on. Before you do that, because I'm going to elect to parry or evade. 77, I think, actually fails. Where are you? Yeah, 77 fails. So you will actually have, you've got one, 7 is actually its right foreleg. So it's sort of like, it's one of these down here that it hits. And what are you doing? Impale. Yeah. So you're taking the 9?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you notice that you sort of like whack it, and it sort of like pierces. It goes through the chitin on the outside, and you hear a slight crack as it actually pierces it. It's actually gone through it, and actually gone into the sort of like the fleshy tissue behind the hard exoskeleton, and now it can't actually remove it. So it's literally sort of like dangling out from its leg.
Yep.
Okay, Briggs, you're up.
Briggs is going to take out another arrow and reload.
Excellent. And Hengist, you're up.
Hengist,
Every time.
Hengist is going to shuffle forward, still sort of like behind his shield, to about here, ready to engage.
Okay. And okay then. And it's Scorpion's turn now. So Scorpion comes up to you, Hengist, and makes its attack. Da, da, da. Let's see if it hits. 61 actually does hit. Do you?
Hengist is going to wish to parry if he can.
Yeah. With your shield or with your sword?
Shield.
Yeah, go for it.
So I roll my combat style.
Yeah, just roll your combat style. Yeah, just needs to get below it. No, you don't get below it. Okay, then hang on. Let me just do that. So it sort of like comes out with its pincer, and it sort of like comes round from one side, and you just don't manage to get your shield round there in time, and its pincer closes about your 8.
Oh, nice 8.
Me abdomen.
Oh, so excellent. It sort of like closes right round your middle. And it does 5 points of damage to you.
My armor is 5.
Yeah, so it sort of like goes round, and you sort of like feel it sort of like clunk in, and it tightens up against your armor. It doesn't quite penetrate it, but now you've almost like you've got this pincer round your
Does it
waist.
lift him up into the air?
No, well, it will do in a second. It will do in a second.
Swing him around.
It just sort of like comes round and sort of like that. So you see Hengist go like that.
Surely it must get a special. That could be a special.
It has done its special, which is grapple.
Right.
So it's grapple. It's like a net. So it's now got hold of him. You know, so that is his special. You're right. Well done. Captain's next. The captain moves up next to the scorpion. Okay, then. Combat turn 2.
Does he flick a coin?
Yeah. You notice he's got a coin out and he's looking for an eye. Gully Willy.
Gully, after his lapse of concentration, is once again going to point at this thing and concentrate, and he's going to say, "Erit," again.
Okay, go for it. Roll that spell casting die. Oh, yes. So all of
this time, not getting anything wrong. Third time's the charm, as Master Healy used to say. The spell comes off.
So now, I think I'm right to say that he's winded now, yeah?
Yeah, he's the scorpion isn't moving as...
Yeah, it looks like
it's fluid as it was. It's almost looked like it's fatigued.
Yeah, quite nicely. Okay, Owen, you are up.
Owen is going to use this action to draw his short sword.
Oh, yes. And Briggs.
Briggs is going to release his arrow.
Yeah, finish reloading and fire. Go for it. Okay, the scorpion doesn't have any more actions left, so he can't do anything with it. So you need to roll a hit location, please.
Oh, how do you do this again?
Just go onto your normal rolls and just do one d20. It should be already set as 1d20.
17.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That actually goes into his other pincer. So it's actually the pincer over on this side. So good aiming. Good aiming. Now you actually do have you have a special. You do actually have a special. So if you wish, I put these onto you. You have a choice. You can marksman it, which means that you'll be able to move it from the pincer into the thorax, into its main body, or you can use it to rapid reload, which means that your next action, rather than taking 2 action points to fire your bow, you'll just quickly take another one and fire it in 1 action.
Okay, I'll take the fast reload, the rapid reload.
Okay, so you remember that you got rapid reload for the next turn when we get up there. Hengist, what would you like to do?
Can Hengist, because Hengist has still got an attack point or an AP point, can he actually attack from being grappled, or does he have to get rid of the grapple before he can attack?
You can whack into him, as of course, yeah.
Hengist is going to do that. You hear Hengist go as you hear the claws scraping and like scratching his armor.
Yeah,
and he's just going to silently. His face is just going to go, and he's just going to hack into it with his sword.
Yeah. So your hit location will be +10. And then I'll adjust it. So roll a d20, but add 10 to it. But I'll adjust it if it seems ridiculous. Unless you want to use a special. Because you will have a special. Roll a d10 and add 20 first.
Well, roll a d20 and add 10 first.
22. Right, yeah. So that's actually its head. Which works out quite nicely. So you can actually, it's roll 1d10 then add 10, but never mind. But that's his head. So go for it.
Oh, 1d10. I thought you said 1d.
No, it's all right. 20. It was my fault. Yeah, but that would be his head. No, it would be the head no matter what.
Okay.
So you can whack into its head. So do some damage. Oh dear. What special are you going to do?
Bleed, please.
Okay. Because if you roll...
I'd go for the one that allows you to re-roll damage.
Okay, so 2 points. So you whack it in, and it's a longsword, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as your longsword hits the exoskeleton, it almost like goes, chung, and so like slides off it. It doesn't seem to have penetrated its armor. Okay, this is the scorpion's attack. Right, just so you know, you're sort of like over a bit now, if that makes sense. And the scorpion brings his other pincer around to bear on the captain. And he actually misses. No, he doesn't actually, because he has no action points left. So it's a captain's turn. Captain's turn to fight. Da, da, da. So the captain's Oh! The captain. Can you see that?
We can't see the
Oh, sorry. I should let you see it.
We can't see you. We can see your to hit rolls and your damage rolls, but we can't see your parry or your.
Can you not see my
attack rolls?
I can't
You
see
can't
any.
see the one that you've just done, no.
All right. The captain got a 5.
Oh, well done, Captain.
Which
Well done, Captain.
So he's sort
It was
of like
the magic coin.
he's sort of like it does a crit on it. Does somebody want to roll his his hit location? No, I'll do it. It's all right.
Done it 12.
12.
What damage does he do? What's his?
It's 1d6.
3 points.
3 points. So he actually whacks the.
Does he get a special?
Yes, he does. He actually whacks the pincer, but he doesn't seem to go through the armor. So he can impale it. No, he can't impale. He can do a bleed on it if he wishes.
Oh, right.
That's what he'll do. Bleed.
Which is the one that allows you to roll it again then?
Impale, yeah. So yes, so you'll lose a fatigue level. Excellent. Okay, does anybody have combat points left?
No.
No, I don't think so. Gully?
No, I'm done. I've just changed mine back up to 3.
Excellent.
Because it was the end of the round.
Right, so this is combat turn 3. Let me just get rid of you guys before you start rolling anything. Off you go. So this is round 3 now.
Does Gully have to make his is it his endurance roll before or after he rolls?
At the end of the round. Has he fighting?
At the end of this.
Has he been fighting too?
Yeah. That's 2 gone for him.
Yeah, so he needs to do it before he rolls his initiative.
Okay, what is it that I rolled? Endurance, is it?
Yes, endurance.
Okay.
Is that for everyone?
No, you guys do it after 3 rounds.
Yeah, he failed it.
Okay, so he's now fatigued.
He's winded.
Correct. Yeah. So now he can roll initiative. Because adjust it on your character sheet. Oh, he still
I've adjusted it on that. I didn't know whether or not. I don't think it's the first level that affects initiative, though.
No,
isn't it?
it's not.
Just everything now's harder.
Yeah, it's harder for him. Yeah, excellent. So everybody's up now. This is round 3, combat turn 1. Gully, you're up. Feeling the strain of combat here.
But seeing that, it sees that it's actually got Hengist now trapped in its pincers. So Gully, with his other hand, is going to reach to his belt and draw his knife.
Oh, no! Right, so drawing your weapon.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
I thought there was one missing. Briggs wasn't on. Okay, Hengist, you are up.
Hengist is going to take another. He's going to take another swing with his sword, or sort of, yeah.
Cool.
Basically. Oh!
Yes, nice crit.
Right. Okay, so
go for
what
it.
is it? Is it 1d10 plus 10 this time, or is it 1d?
Yeah, 1d10. 1d10 plus 10. Yeah.
12.
12. Yeah. So hang on, because you've actually got more crits, haven't you? So this, as it sort of like whirls you around, this is actually on its thorax. So you can actually you've actually critted. So you can actually do, you can substitute one of the weapon's dice damage for its full value if you wish. So you could, that's because you critted, so that's one. Or you can, if you wish, you can choose, you can bypass the armor. So you find a gap in the defender's natural or worn armor. Okay, and so you actually go past that and sort of like go straight. So you would actually go past the exoskeleton and go straight into the area of its thorax.
Could I do the lasso one? So can he bypass the armor?
Yeah. Well, you actually get two. You get two specials because you critted. So you can do that, and then you can impale if you wish as well. Yeah.
That was the plan.
Yeah. Go for it then. So roll it twice.
I'd take the 4.
I think I'm going to take the 4. Well, maybe I should take the 4. I haven't quite decided.
No,
take the second one.
Okay, so you whack it into its thorax, and you notice this. You find a tiny gap in its exoskeleton as you ram your sword in it, and you notice all this sort of like ooze, this sort of like skeleton scorpion blood sort of like oozes out from it. Now, because you've impaled, you have a choice. You can either leave your weapon in there, or you can pull it out. Now, if you wish to withdraw it, it'll take a ready weapon action. Okay, and you must pass a brawn roll.
Or what was if you leave it in? Does it?
If you
can the weapon not be used after
the attack?
If you leave it in?
Leaving the weapon in the wound inflicts a difficulty grade on the victim's future skill attempts. So
he's going to leave it in, and then next time he's going to draw his dagger.
Okay, so you sort of like leave it in. So now this poor guy now is doing everything. It's no longer hard. It's actually formidable for him to hit because he's got a sword in him.
Yeah,
my spear's still in him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hengist thought he'd leave it in because, I imagine Hengist would leave it in because obviously he's still in the clutches of the claw, which is obviously, I'm thinking he's being waved around and he's just managed to like sneak it in as the claw's gone back towards the thorax.
Yeah.
And so he's taken that opportunity to thrust it in using all his strength behind it. But then the creature, I would have thought, would go and try and whip him away again. So he's going to have let go of the sword.
Cool. Your spear landed in a leg, Owen. Yep. So he's actually, his movement is difficult. Well, this one's actually gone into his poor thorax. Hengist. Briggs, you're up.
I've got a rapid refire, so I should be able to shoot one off, shouldn't I?
Yeah, so you fired one arrow, and then in the next 5 seconds, you quickly pull another one, pull it, and then let loose again, with hopefully a good accuracy. Yes! 42, yeah, you hit. Go for it. Roll a d20.
So roll a d20 on the roller.
20. Yep. And it's 2.
It is 2. Okay, so you suddenly notice that his tail is arching up, about to come down on the captain. And you suddenly notice this, and as it arches up, you suddenly think, hell, chung, and just fire an arrow straight into it. So go for it. Now you've got a special again, because he can't parry, so it depends what you want to do.
Can you do the fast reload again?
Yeah, you can. So do you want to do some damage into the tail?
Right. How do I do this damage again? Cause I can't
just press, it'll say short bow damage in your weapons section. It'd be a little dice and you can just press it.
Got 1d6.
Yeah, 3.
Oh, damage 3.
3 points. Yeah. Okay then. It doesn't look like this thing has no. It doesn't look like it's got any armor there, and it's just sort of like hits the sort of like the stingy part on the end, and the arrow just goes straight into it. Hang on a minute. Just 1 second.
So I change that now to 1. Exit. Oh, I keep killing him.
Okay, that's Briggs. Owen.
Right, Owen drew his sword last round. So
Correct.
He's going to charge towards. I can't attack when I get there, of course, but
In you go.
I'm aiming to the leg.
Oh, the pincer. Yeah.
To the pincer that has Hengist with a view to attacking it next turn.
Excellent. So
to try and free him.
Yeah. So this is 12. So this is the scorpion that actually rolls to try to hit the captain again. And it looks so tired and sort of like injured. It's just sort of like feebly sort of like turns around to try to grab the captain, but just sort of like makes a really pathetic makeshift attempt to grab him, but it doesn't even come close to the captain. It's sort of like does it sort of like here ahead of him. Okay, next round. Oh, captain, sorry, I need to do captain.
SeaTide.
Captain
So is this where I got to roll for my
Hang on, yeah, wait.
Sorry, I'll be back in a second.
The captain swipes at the pincer, but misses it. Okay, yeah, so now we're going into... this is... No, you're fine at the moment. This is combat turn 2. So, who's first? Gully, you're up.
Seeing how both Captain SeaTide and Hengist and now Owen has charged this thing, Gully with his knife out is going to do his best war cry, but unfortunately it sounds more like he's been attacked. He goes, "Ah!" and starts charging.
Okay.
And he can get right the way up to there because he can move that.
Cool.
With his knife upheld, ready to plunge it into the...
Well, he'll probably get up there, won't he?
He'll definitely get up there.
Yeah.
He can run 17.
Yeah, so that'll be his action, won't it? That'll be his action point, yeah. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist is actually going to bash make a bash at it with his shield, if he can. Because he's still got his shield on his left arm, so he's going to try and
how does that relate to your combat skills?
My combat skills are longsword, dagger, and shield.
But your shield would be mainly for parrying, won't it? Rather than bashing.
It has, my shield has a bash with stun location. It also has ranged parry and passive block.
Yeah, I know what the combat effects have. I'm talking about your combat style. So your combat style would be longsword, dagger, and shield. So your shield would mainly be used for parrying, wouldn't it? Rather than bashing with it. Because you've only got 3... Your House of Carl is longsword, dagger, and shield. So your shield would be used for parrying. So if you're going to use it to bash, then the difficulty will be 1 higher. So instead of being... a standard roll, it'll be a hard roll.
I think that's what we played in the last one anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hengist is going to do that.
Cool.
He's going to try and bash at it with his shield.
Yeah, so the actual angle of it is not actually right, and you sort of like bash at it, but it slides off its armor. Briggsy, you're up.
Okay, so seeing that he's still got his fast reload, he's gonna pop another one. That's longsword. Wait, where's it got? Huntsman. There we go. Fire!
Yeah. Okay then. So roll. You will have a special on it. So, but this is probably going to its tail again because that's the best place to sort of like launch it into. So do your damage on the tail.
Oh, damn it! Sorry, that was the.
Yeah, it's all right. Let's do the damage.
Damage. Short bow damage. 2. Damn it.
Okay, you will have a special. So it's whether or not you want to do rapid reload, or do you want to impale it and roll your damage again?
I think I'm gonna impale it.
Okay, roll your damage again.
Did I say damn it? I meant reload.
Well, actually, it's enough, and you actually notice that the arrow slices through the stinger on the tail, and you notice that the stinger sort of like drops to the floor. It's almost like being sliced through the sort of like the connecting tissue with your arrow, and it falls to the floor. Owen.
Right, Owen is going to strike at the arm that's holding him.
Yeah, cool. Go for it.
And probably miss.
No, yeah, because it's right in front of you, this will be an easy roll. You see, rather than a standard roll, because it's not sort of like easy. It's not a standard roll, so that will actually hit. So do some damage for me.
That's the damage. 5.
5. Now you will have a special.
Bleed.
Brilliant. So that is the right pincer. Okay, so you whack into this pincer, but your short sword just sort of like glances off the exoskeleton. This scorpion seems to be looking very very tired at the moment, and it's almost like its actions are getting slower and slower. It makes a almost like pathetic attempt to grab the captain and fails, and the captain sort of like charges back at it and whacks it with it whacks the pincer in front of him with his sword, but it just sort of like glances off the exoskeleton. Okay, and we're up to turn 3. If anything's got anything left,
I do indeed. I have one.
I do indeed.
Okay, so
We all have one.
Hengist, off
Apart
you
from
go.
the captain. Oh, must be me first.
Sorry, yeah, Gully.
This is Gully first.
Gully first. Sorry,
Surely.
Gully, off you go.
Gully remembers the captain's story about the octopus and the coin and the eye. Can he see an eye on this thing?
Make a perception roll. Yes.
Fatigue and he sees it.
Yeah, you can see what appears to be sort of like a bulbous black eye.
Gully's gonna try to get his knife into it.
Cool, go for it.
Let me know what he needs.
Or 1.
Yeah.
You're gonna be impressed. Where's my skill?
You just see Hengist nodding with approval.
You just like
as Gully launches himself at this eye with his knife, which still has a bit of cheese on the blade from when he last used it.
Excellent. Do some damage, and you'll have a special against him.
Okay, this is where things go slightly wrong.
Okay.
Has that taken into effect my modifier? Yes.
Yeah. Do you wish to impale it?
No. What other things do I have?
Well,
I think there's one called. Is there one called something like respite or something like that, which allows me to get an attack in?
Oh, yeah, remiss. So,
remiss.
Small weapon. Are you a small weapon? Yeah.
Oh, very small.
Attacker performs a follow-up attack with a weapon of the size small on the defender's next turn. Defender must change a protective action into a reactive action. Yeah.
No. Sorry, I'm going to impale.
Oh, cool. Go for it then.
Count out his eye.
That's just re-rolling it, isn't it?
Yeah. And deciding whether or not you want to leave it in there or pull it out.
Hang on. 1d3.
So what you would do with remiss is that you will attack again next. You would have a follow-up attack on the defender's next turn. But I would, instead of going for the captain again, I would be forced to change that attack action to a defending action.
I'm going to do that. I'm
Okay.
going to leave it at that. Gully thinks that he's probably had the luckiest attack that he could possibly have had by
With
managing to hit the eye.
Cool.
So he's going to leave it as that.
Okay, Hengist, you're up.
No. Sorry, I'm going to impale. He's going to stab it in its eye, and he's going to leave it. And
so
as he does it, he sort of like falls backwards.
Okay, so roll your damage again.
Take the 0.
It wasn't the case of the damage because I couldn't actually get much better. That's his maximum damage that turn.
Is 0 a 10? Or is the box not big enough?
D3.
He has a negative for damage.
Okay then. So are you leaving?
So 2 is the best that he can do.
Right,
but I want to leave that knife in its eye to hopefully affect its vision, etc.
It is definitely left in its eye. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist this time, seeing that his shield was ineffective, he's going to use his turn to draw his dagger.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Briggs, you have any more? No. Do you have?
No, I don't have them.
Okay then. It comes to the scorpion's turn, and Hengist, you suddenly find that this scorpion releases you, and you see it sort of like turning and starting to sort of like slowly, sort of like almost like limp away into the back into the undergrowth. It's almost like it's got a spear coming out of one leg, and it's sort of like got a dagger in an eye, and it does sort of like its tail stinger is off, and there's various, and it's got a sword stuck into it, and it's just sort of like it's almost like crawling, as if it's sort of like almost dead, but is desperately trying to get away. Okay, that's the end of combat round 3. So Hengist, Briggs, and Owen, you need to make endurance checks, please.
Endurance.
So Hengist, you are now fatigued.
Endurance. Where are you?
Endurance failed, I think.
So is Owen.
Where's endurance? I can't see it.
Down at the
It's
bottom.
under your standard
Halfway
skills,
down
and
your list of skills.
it's about halfway down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Nice one.
Briggs is all like, yeah. Oh, you wusses, look at me. Okay, so this is combat round 4. And we're going, hang on, let me delete you all first, guys, before you start running again. Okay, off you go.
I remember this thing.
Combat round 4. Captain.
What's this? Owen going first.
Owen!
Bloody hell.
Owen! There'll be sheep in them there fields. Yakida! Go!
We'll have none of that casual racism here.
What would you like to do?
Easy does. Pecking.
He is going to follow the creature and slash at it as it retreats.
Excellent. Go for it.
Or stab at it, rather. 54.
So you're actually winded now, aren't you? So all your skills are hard. Yeah.
We
So
just change your fatigue level to. It should automatically do it.
yeah. So you're as this sort of like this scorpion is sort of like clickering off into the undergrowth. You make a wild. Is it a short sword you're using?
Yeah.
Yeah. You make a wild swing with the short sword, but it misses. Gully.
Gully's just going to look and go, "It's got my knife."
That would be a free action.
He's going to look round for maybe a stone, a rock on the beach.
Okay, make a perception roll. There's a bit of driftwood.
Oh no, he's no good with driftwood. It's got to be a stone.
There's one there, look.
Yeah, he doesn't see that, Owen.
Well, he's going to spend his action just frantically looking round for a stone which is going to be suitable to probably throw.
Okay, got you. Briggs, you're up. You're going to find it. You're going to find it hard to fire now with your arrows. Just to let you know.
Right.
This poor scorpion. His actual rolls are actually formidable at the moment. He's only got one action point around. he's just like limping off. It's so sad.
Okay, he's going to take his turn to draw out or load his bow.
Exhausted. Oh, it needs to be that blue colour. Okay, so he's loading another arrow. Did you say? Yeah.
He's loading up an arrow.
Yeah, cool. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist will move to. Oh no, Hengist will. Is he still within strike range?
Yes, yeah. His movement is reduced by his movement. The scorpion's movement is reduced by half.
Hengist is going to punch out with his dagger then, because he got that out last time.
Yeah, so that's actually a miss. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's going to use his free action to shout to Gully and go, "Use one of the coins that you're hiding."
Use one of the what, sorry?
The coins is hiding.
Coins, yes.
We all know you've got them.
Captain goes for a swing and misses it. The captain looks quite tired as well, and the scorpion moves. Excellent. So combat round, combat turn 2. Owen, you're up.
I will continue to thrust at the creature because he's running off with people's weapons.
He certainly is.
He's not getting away with it, either.
Nope. I miss again.
Yeah, so you probably hit off the exoskeleton. Gully, you're up. Okay, you've got a stone now, but you're probably not there. You're probably about there from looking for your stone.
Okay. What did you say? 5?
Yeah.
He's going to throw it.
Oh,
he's going to take careful aim. And he's going to remember the times when he was down on the docks as an orphan, and they used to throw the stones at the rubbish and floating in the sea to see who could get it the closest, and taking careful. He was actually the champion of the orphanage of throwing these stones.
Cool.
And it all comes back to him. He's going to take careful aim, and he's going to throw this stone at the...
Go for it. This is part of his combat style, isn't it? Oh, he hits!
So he throws it as hard as he can, and it hits it in its 10.
In its thorax.
What a shot.
It is, and he's already been damaged here.
Okay, but this is where, again, things go wrong. What's the...
Is it 1d3, mate? 2, you get a stun location.
Which, again, I think is the maximum I could actually get on...
Yeah, so you... I think the stun means that it can't use it, doesn't it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, temporarily stuns the body part. If injures the target, the defender makes the original roll. Right, hang on, I need to make a roll. What was your original thing? 10. 98. So yes, so you lob this stone. You lob this stone.
I don't lob it. This is finesse. This. It's not a lob.
You sort of like run up and
careful aim. I could even, if it was in water, I could make it actually go across the water, skim it across the water. This is the type of thing Gully can do. He throws this rock.
Right, you lob it, and Owen, it comes flying past you and sort of like whacks this scorpion in its sort of like its thorax, and it just sort of like hits, and you hear the exoskeleton crack, and there's like a it hits and it stuns this creature. And you notice that the creature just sort of like stops in its tracks. And after that, guys, it's quite easy for you to hack this to a situation that it becomes rather deaded.
Hengist will take advantage of that situation, run on top of it, because obviously his sword's still impaled in the middle of the thorax, and he's just going to lean his weight on his sword to finish this off, like standing on the creature's back. Just go.
Yeah, you can sort of like go like that with excellent. And
Gully's going to go and get his knife, and he's going to put it away, and then he's going to look for the stone that he's just chucked, and once he finds it, he's going to look at it, and he's going to stick it in his tunic. And he's going, "That's a good one, that one."
And you sort of like keep it, and you sort of like wipe the sort of like the muck, the
Yeah, oh yes, he'll go to the shoreline, and he'll wear it up, but yeah, he'll have a look at it as well. Yeah.
And you guys sort of like after your heroic battle, you sort of like slump onto the ground and rest for about 15 minutes, which reduces your fatigue at that point. And you're just like, oh, like that as this. And every now and again, you think this scorpion sort of like twitches now and again. You know, but it's obviously quite dead as it tried desperately to crawl back into the jungle. And the captain sort of like turns to you, Briggs, and says, Fine shooting with that arrow. Fine shooting with that bow, sorry. Oh, very good shot." Because he sort of like thinks that you actually saved his life, Briggs, because the tail was coming over to hit him. He's sort of like that, and just like knocked it out of the air. Okay, so it is time to head back off to the boat. Everybody sort of like recaptured their recollected their weapons. Yeah, sorry, go for it.
Is there a way that I can reclaim arrows?
Yeah, you reclaim half of what you fired. So you're half. Yeah. So it's just like Dungeons and Dragons. So if you fire 2, you get 1 back. If you fire 1,
you fire 3.
You halving always goes down. So if you fire 1, you don't get any back.
Right.
So if you fire 3, you get 1 back. So forth and so on. Okay, so you all hop onto the boat, and I need some boating skills, guys.
I take it the captain's going to be in the front again, give him the directions.
Yeah, he's going to be at the tiller and sort of like operating the rudder to sort of like get you there in a safe manner. Everybody get on the boat.
So, as last time, Gully's going to probably find this difficult, even sort of like getting it in the right position, but he's going to give the first puller a go. Yeah,
right. So everybody needs to do. Christ.
Gully's going to turn around to Captain SeaTide and say, "Does it have a sail by any chance?"
The captain goes, "Come on, mate! Heave ho, guys! Heave ho!" Off you go. Roll again. Please, somebody. Oh! Hengist has got the rhythm now. Briggs doesn't know what he's doing. Gulliver just sort of like drops the oar over the side.
I can't do this.
But Hengist has started to put the back into it, and the boat actually starts to move at a slow rate. It's been going around. This journey should only take about 20 minutes, and it's sort of like you've been rowing about for 15 minutes yet, and you're just sort of like a few meters off the shoreline. One more time, guys. Come on. Oh, somebody got. Oh, Briggs is away. Oh, Briggs, Hengist, you're fine now. Once you've got a boating skill, you're away. So Briggs probably wants to go to the opposite side of the boat. Otherwise, this boat's going to be going round in circles as Hengist and Briggs both pull on the same side. So about half an hour of boating, sort of like a short trip, eventually gets you there, and you're sort of like quite exhausted, and you get up on the boat onto the main boat. I'm just going to move you over back onto the ship, so hang on tight, hold on, because everybody needs to. You will be reduced in size, so don't worry.
We will be of smaller stature.
Can you see yourselves?
Yes.
There you go. So eventually you get up there, and the second in command, so sort of like the captain's mate, whispers quietly into the captain's ear, and the captain turns to you and says, "It looks like you're going to have the opportunity to perfect some of your skills, gentlemen, since some of the sailors went against the order and went ashore and has not been seen since. So we're a little bit short on crew. However, I'm sure you guys can find some jobs to do and do them well." And so we're going to take a short break there. And when you come back, the ship's captain's mate, the ship's mate, will be asking you what jobs you wish to fulfill on the boat. And this could be anything.
Passenger.
Anything, any job, any job, good grief, any job that you can do that you have the appropriate skill for, or you can adapt the skill. Obviously, as Owen has previously mentioned, your armor and your weapons will be stowed below deck to avoid the effects of sea water, etc., etc. But after the break, we will be asking you to let us know what jobs you will be doing on this ship as we continue to set sail towards Lindo. So guys, and everybody on the everybody watching the stream, we're going to take a short break. We're going to take a 5-minute break, everybody. 5 minutes, so you don't have long. Okay, so 5 minutes, and then we will be back. Okay, please, whatever you do, just making sure my thing works. Don't go away. Quick, let's get back before Chuckawugga comes back. And welcome everybody, welcome back. I would just like to say thank you to Erode for Arrow for another resubscription for 3 months. Yay! Well, it's actually a lot longer. It's actually a lot longer than 3 months, because he was subscribed via Game Wisp as well, so it doesn't actually take that into account. But thank you, Arrow. I don't think you're still in the chat, but yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for that. So thank you very much. Okay, so the captain sort of like heads off to his sort of like his sort of like cabin. I was going to say apartment, but then I got it completely wrong. And the mate, the ship's captain, as mate, sort of like he stood there. He's quite a burly man. You know, he's a bit like he's sort of like got a bit of a beard going on, but bald head. He's got muscles on top of muscles. And he's got a huge broad chest and a tiny waist, and he's very sort of like weather beaten, and you're not too sure, but you think he's got an earring as well. You don't know whether, you know, so really
one
tough.
Of those, eh?
Really tough, but you're not too sure which ear it's in. And he sort of like looks at you all and goes, "Right, you landlubbers, what you going to do on this ship of mine?"
To be honest, I'm not very good at anything really. To be honest with you, what I could do, and this will help everybody's production levels, is I am very adept at playing my flute. So just think, if I was up, say, up on the top where they steer the ship, is it a ship or is it a boat?
It's a boat.
If I was up at the top where they steer the boat, I could play my music, and that would enhance everybody's performance.
Boy,
I'm really good.
boy,
even
shut up
Master
before I
SeaTide
throw you overboard. you can be the sea shanty player. You will be. We're having a celebration shortly, but you can keep the sailors in fine spirits, and you can play your flute, as you call it, and keep a merry tune here and everywhere. But woe betide you, you little winkle. Play badly.
Oh, I never played badly.
Play badly. And it be...
You want me to play badly?
It'll be the sharks for you, boy.
Oh, no. I'm honestly...
Now,
I'm
one more thing.
fantastic.
One more thing. Pay close attention to these next few words. I've got 3 words for you. Shut your mouth.
See,
but he says, go and stand behind the person steering the ship and give us a merry tune when I point at you. Right.
He'll sort of like look at him, and then he'll get out his flute. But as he's wandering off, as he's wandering up there, you hear him sort of like mumbling something, as if he's making an answer. He's going to go up to where's the person steering?
There's here.
Up here somewhere.
At the back.
Okay. He's going to go up and he's going to stand next to that.
Right. He goes to you other 3. Who's next? What jobs you going to be doing on my ship?
Briggs is gonna turn round, and in a low mumble, he's gonna say, "I'll fish."
Fish? You want to fish? Good grief, landlubber. Okay, here's what you will do. Apparently I've heard from the captain that you have keen eyesight and quite good with that bow. Some kind of marksman, I see. So you can fish at the end of the day. But until then, it's up there for you. Keep an eye out in the crow's nest. Keep an eye out. No. Up you go. Up you go. Up.
Okay.
Just do a climbing skill for me, please.
Oh, God.
Which is in athletics. So you sort of like go up several times. It's one of those rope, you know, those mesh ropes that you sort of like go up and there every now and again you stick your foot through the gaps. Well, you probably don't, Big. You probably go like that, but I sort of like get my first hand and then end up with my head through it, you know, things like that. But you either sort of like stumble a few times and then eventually you sort of like get up and you sort of like get to the crow's nest, and it's, I don't know if you realise this, but a small movement of the boat, because you're right there up on the edge of a long mast, a small movement down at the bottom is a huge movement for you. You just sort of like feel like that. But you notice there is... say again, sorry?
You suddenly, where you're all stood, you suddenly see like a pile of vomit.
Yeah, well, you're going to make an endurance check in a second, but yeah. But you notice there is something to hook yourself on there. So you are actually up in the crow's nest. Excellent. So he turns to Hengist and Owen. Right, two more burly chaps, I see. And what will you two be doing on my ship?
Hengist goes, I'll do the sails.
You do the sails? What are you going to do with the flapping sails?
He looks up and goes, well, They're wrapped up at the moment, so I'll unwrap them.
You could be a rope worker then. You could pull the sails as I order. Follow. He turns around to another sort of like a rather weather-beaten sailor that you notice has only got one eye and one half of a leg that he has like a wooden peg. He says, "Follow Lucky. He'll help you. He'll help you." And this guy sort of like comes across it and goes, "Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir." He sort of says, "Excuse his language. He's lost his tongue as well." And he just like gazes over to you, Lucky, Gully, and sort of like frowns a bit as if to say, guess what can happen. And Lucky comes over to your hand and says, "Oh, follow me. He sounds a bit like a parrot. Follow me, like this." And he sort of like
Angus will follow Lucky.
And he sort of like tells you to start coiling ropes. "And you, man of steel, of metalworking, what's your job going to be on my ship?"
I am a passenger boy.
"Do you not hear the captain? You have to do some work. Work.
Work?
WOKE.
Money for this trip.
You have no choice. You either do work or you're in the brig. Work or brig. Your choice."
Oh, brig it'll be then.
Okay then. So Owen gets put away in the brig. Okay then. So Gully, would you like to do your musical instrument role?
Ooh.
So as the boat is going along and sort of like everybody's sort of like doing their job, you can hear this soft sound of the flute coming from Gully on the back. Everybody sort of like going. It's all like, okay. Everybody sort of like frantically sort of like tries to sort of like pay attention. Briggs, make your endurance roll, please, and a perception roll. Yeah, so you all of a sudden, up ahead in the sort of like the crow's nest, you do the. Would you like to do it in the crow's nest or out over the edge, Briggs?
Over the edge.
Okay, let me just do this.
Is there like a hatch just above the brig? You know, one of those open mesh ones.
No, yeah. So all of a sudden, you hear from up at the top, you hear the like that.
Watch out!
As this vomit sort of like cascades down, sort of like splattering on the deck, and it just sort of like completely covers Lucky, and he just sort of like splat all over his head, right next to you, Hengist. He's just sort of like pulling a rope, and all of a sudden, all this vomit just sort of like falls down, and he sort of like goes, "Lucky by yay me," and carries on pulling the rope. Okay, Hengist, you need to do a brawn roll for me. Oh, Hengist is there. They're sort of like go da 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 da. They're sort of like pulling in this rope, and the ship's mate comes up and he says to him, "I'll make a sailor out of you, lad. If you ever want to join my crew, you are welcome here. Welcome, I tell ya. Fine lad you are. Fine lad." So
Hengist isn't going to say anything to that. He's just going to nod his head.
You just hear Lucky go.
He knows the type.
Yeah, Lucky goes, fine lad, fine lad. It's sort of like with a bit of sick sort of like dripping off his face. And you sail throughout the rest of the day, and it comes to the night time, and they light lanterns around the boat. And everybody becomes quite excited as if there's something about to happen. And everybody sort of like started to think, oh, you sort of like think, what's happening? What's actually happening? And the people get together, and there seems to be. Can you hear the music, by the way?
I can hear sort of like people talking.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted you to hear. And you hear people sort of like talking, and everybody sort of like brought down onto the middle of the deck, and all of a sudden the captain comes out. And the captain comes out and he says, "Welcome everyone! Tonight is the infamous arm wrestling competition. Each and every one of you can participate, challenge various people, and there is plenty of silver coins available to anybody who wins and succeeds in bending the arm down to touch the opposing person's hold." And they bring out a whole load of tables and chairs that have those two, those have like a little stick that you hold on to with one hand, and then you have to push the opposing hand down. He says, "Yes," he says, "anyone. So place your bets. Now, Hengist, Gully and Briggs, you have to decide whether or not you are actually going to participate in the arm wrestling. Now, just to let you know how this works, is that it will be a brawn roll, Gully. It will be a brawn roll, and the difference in the brawn roll will be almost like the betting. So if somebody is just sort of like 27 and 26, and the betting on 27, 28, it'll just be like 2 to 1. So you won't get a lot of money back. However, if you actually fight against somebody who's a lot bigger than you, then they will place money on you. And if you win, you get a lot more money from it because the betting is a lot higher. So that's how it works. And there's 5 contestants, including you, and then there's you 3. So there's 8 altogether. There's 7 altogether. There's 4 and then you 3. So it's up to you whether or not you participate, but it is your brawn roll. Now, just let me tell you who is participating in the night's wrestling. And the ship's, not the captain, the mate introduced it to him. And the first one, he says, "Welcome, Sally Bobtail." And this sort of like scrawny woman comes on. She's obviously been below deck for some time. And he sort of said, "Sally, do not be mistaken by her flimsy arms. She can whisk an egg as fast as you can whisk anything else." He says, "She has won many arm wrestling contests against very poor sailors." And then second up, he says, "This be Sail Cutter. He's a fairly strong bloke." And you see this rather weedy guy sort of like doing this. Like they sort of like showing off his muscles. And he says, "This be Pete the sailor's mate." And this sort of like rather hefty guy sort of like wanders out. And this sort of like looks down at everybody, down at his nose, and then sort of like walks back. And he says, "And finally, here's Mac." And Mac, you sort of like look around, everybody looks around, and there's this really tall guy, and everybody's looking up at him, and he seems to have muscles on top of muscles, this tall guy. And then all of a sudden, he stands up. And he's even taller than what you thought. And actually, as he moves, if he moves too far over one side of the ship actually gently tilts to one side. Anyway, the mate looks at you 3 and he sort of says, "So, who would like to start off the competition?"
When all this has been happening, Gully's been taking careful notice of each of the other competitors in seeing how they walk, how the rest of the crew reacts to them when they're as they come in, as if to see whether or not maybe one of them's won before, and he wants to judge to see who probably stands the best chance of those contestants of winning. I'm hoping
against
that
who?
Maybe I could use my insight skill, which allows me to judge.
So to beat who?
Who's going to win? I'm going straight for who looks like he's going to be
roll your insight.
The actual winner.
Yeah, you think probably Mac. He's probably won a lot of times. The probably the one who's lost the most amount of time is probably Sally Bobtail. But on the ship, each sort of like area of the ship has to put forward a contestant, and she's sort of like the cook's contestant. Say so, probably Mac always wins, and Sally Bobtails, the female sailor, is sort of like the weakest. The ship's mate sort of like turns to you, Gully, and says, "So boy, so good with your mouth, and not so good with that stick you play. So, how good are you with your arm? Who would you like to challenge?"
Gully will look at him and just smile, and he goes, "I like to put my money where my mouth is, when my mouth isn't doing other things, which it normally is."
He sort of like looks a bit confused as if to say.
He goes into his pocket and he takes out. Well, I'm not familiar with the currency, but what
silver
would
coins
sort of like
silver coins.
Silver coins.
Yeah.
I've just
everybody's got silver coins. Yeah.
I mean, Gully knows that he only has a very small amount, so he's going to say 5 silver coins on whoever it was to win. Who was it?
Mac to win, but he wants to know whether or not you are going to compete against anybody.
No, I'm not competing. Just 5 silver coins for Mac to win.
Okay, 5 silver coins for Mac to win. So if he wins now, you'll get a cut of the profits. But say, for example, if Hengist wins, he'll get a massive cut of the profits. Or if Brigs wins, he will get a massive cut. Or if you win, Gully, or Owen wins, they'll get a massive cut of the profits. Rather than if you just put in bets on, then you get a measly cut of the profit. So, but that's fine. 5 silver pieces on Mac. Got ya. Okay, Hengist, do you want
Hengist will get in on this.
Do you wish to bet or participate?
Hengist is going to participate.
Cool. So you don't have to put any money on, but if you win, you'll get money.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 5. Okay, Brigs, do you wish to?
Briggs is going to participate. He feels confident.
He's got an archer's physique.
He might have the skill, but not the instead of the power. Instead of the power. So Owen, what do you wish to do? Do you wish to continue being a passenger, or are you prepared to work on the ship?
Oh, I'll have spent the day just resting and getting some sleep. So I'll be willing to work.
Oh, cool. So you need to think of a job. So are you going to be participating in the arm wrestling?
Oh,
are you going to participate
he's
or bet?
He's not a betting man, but he'll participate.
Cool. Okay then. So Gully has put money on Mac to win. Okay, so
Gully also wants to try to now position himself so that he can see.
Yeah, don't.
So that he can see the actual wrestling. Maybe up on the top here, so that he can see. Get a good view of it, sort of like make it out like he's getting a good view, and he's going to be really enthusiastic about it all.
Okay.
But then he's going to watch for the bounce that Max in.
Okay, so what's going to happen, guys, is that Hengist and Briggs and Owen, you're all going to arm wrestle each one of the contestants. Okay, and if you beat all of the contestants, then you're the first contestant, then you'll go through to the next round, and then the next round. And if you all survive, i.e. you beat all of them, then you will actually go through to the final round when you will actually arm wrestle against each other. Okay, and then the winner will get the coinage. So we're going to start off Hengist, Briggs and Owen. This is the battle against Sally Bobtail. Okay, Sally Bobtail, who is the weedy cook. The weedy cook. Okay then. So this is what you need to do. You need to roll your brawn. Okay. Now the first thing is you need to succeed, or if you succeed, then that's good, and she fails, then you win. If you both succeed, okay, then you need to get higher than her succeed, if that makes sense. If you both fail, you need to get higher than her fail in order to go through to the next round. Okay, and it's just a standard roll.
Does she arm wrestle all three of them then?
Yeah.
Right.
You go through it. So Hengist, you're up first to arm wrestle. I'll do it out in the open for these so you can see them. So you need your brawn roll. So yeah, so you won. So you got it. So this is her roll for you. So yeah, so her skill level is 20, so she rolled 57. So you are through. You beat Sally Bobtail. Okay then, good arm wrestle. Okay, Briggs.
Gully's going to be cheering up on the...
Yeah. Briggs, off you go. Roll your brawn. Oh no!
Oh, dislocated shoulder.
You failed. Hang on. But she failed, but you failed worse. So she actually beats you. So you're literally out of the match, Briggs. You got beaten by Sally Bobtail. And then that's it. Owen!
Which makes a mean omelette to Sally Bobtail.
Yes! Owen, you're up.
Beaten by a girl.
Oh dear.
Oh, right, hang on. 71, here we go. Oh, yeah! Sally Bobtail actually beats Owen. Yeah.
It's a good job you had a rest.
Stupid game anyway.
Right. So, Briggs and Owen are out, beaten by Sally Bobtail. However, Hengist, you are still in. And you'll move up to the second rank, which is Sail Cutter. Sail Cutter. Are you ready? Roll your brawn. Oh, you failed.
Well, that was obvious.
Oh, now he's failed as well, but he hasn't failed as badly as you. So you actually get beaten by Sail Cutter. So all three of you are out of the wrestling match. But
He cheated. He kicked me in the shin.
However,
Gully seems very happy about all this.
so this is Sail Cutter against Pete, the sailor. So this is Sail Cutter first. Here's his roll. So he's failed 16, and this is Pete's roll. He's failed as well, but not as much. So Pete is in the lead at the moment. So this is now Pete versus Mac. So this is Pete's roll. So he's failed. This is Mac's roll. Oh, Mac wins. Mac
4.
Mac actually wins. Well, do you want to know? Any one of you could have used any luck points.
I was saving it in case I got to the final.
No, that's...
In case you got to the final.
Yeah, well, the skill rating of 74, I'm going to need it, aren't I?
Yeah, well, maybe you could have got a lucky dice roll at the end. So, Mac actually wins, and he sort of like parades round, sort of like, yeah.
Gully's going to go down and he's going to slap him on the back and go, well done, Mac,
Well,
well done.
You can't actually reach his back. You sort of like...
maybe the small of his back.
Yeah, or
maybe his buttock.
Yeah, you just sort of like slap a left buttock, and he sort of like looks at you, and this sort of like sailor comes across to you, Gully, and sort of like tips some coinage into your hand, and he gives you...
I'll count them. How many is there?
He gives you 20 silver pieces back, so you won 15 silver pieces on the...
How much money has Gully got?
Gully will open it up and he'll put it in his little purse and put his tunic in, and he'll look round to see whether or not Hengist is watching him, and then he'll turn his back and put it back in his tunic.
Okay.
And then when Hengist isn't watching him again, he'll take it out and he'll put it in the other side.
So just do. You need to do a whatchamacallit. A
sleight of hand.
Yeah. Stealth roll.
Ooh.
What about? Sorry, I was going to say conceal.
Conceal is for bigger objects.
Okay.
So you can conceal something. Okay, yeah, roll your perception roll, Hengist.
I think might be safe on this one. Hengist isn't very good at perception.
No, you're not, aren't you? 60... yeah, you managed to put it away, Gully, without Hengist seeing where it's gone. Okay, so after the wrestling match, there's loads of drinking and sort of like merriment, and you all consumes copious amounts of what appears to be watered down ale, and you eat what can only be called they're called sea pies, which is almost like a flat pastry that's made without any butter or anything like that, filled with, you probably it's better not to ask, but they're quite salty, so you drink more ale, and you spend the night laughing and joking and listening to Captain SeaTide's wonderful tales about how he actually defeated a whale by riding on its tail whilst using a slingshot to block up its blowhole until it eventually actually suffocated. And these are like goes on for quite into the night.
Gully listens to all these and almost like he's taking notes.
Yeah,
because he thinks it's absolutely fantastic, and he'll ask questions about what happened next, and he'll do the oh and the gasps and the right at the right.
Yeah, and it's almost like an encouragement, and he actually sort of like his tales of sort of like wonderful battles at sea actually gets more and more exaggerated as the night goes on, and eventually you all sort of like head off to your appropriate bunks. And the next day, with rather sore heads, you all put back to work on the ship. And Owen's busy cleaning the decks, and Briggs is up in the crow's nest, and Hengist, you're sort of like with Lucky coiling ropes, and Gully, you're busy playing your flute. Just do another flute play, please. Badly. And Briggs, you suddenly notice far out in the direction that the ship's going, you suddenly notice that there's a series of black clouds, very high black clouds, very dense black clouds, almost like rolling towards your situation. The ship appears to be heading straight from them. And from the crow's nest, as you sort of like look from side to side, thinking, how do I get out? How can we go round here? It almost like's been filling the whole horizon. And rather than you sailing towards the clouds, it almost appears as if these are billowing and rolling towards you.
Am I the only one that can see this?
Yeah, you're currently, because you're up in the crow's nest, so you can see further away.
So Briggs is going to shout down. Look out!
So everybody hears sort of like Briggs saying, look out, and it sort of like brings everybody's attention, and sure enough, you all see these clouds rolling towards you, and as it comes closer and closer, there's almost like this sound of thunder rolling in the distance, and the captain and the ship's mate suddenly starts to shout at you and sort of like starts to sort of like holler orders at you, and it's like he says, batten down the hatches, lash yourselves to the wheel, lash yourselves to something, secure those loose gear, batten down the hatches, close the portals, watertight the doors.
Gully's looking confused of what he doesn't really know what battle down the hatches means, or
you notice that.
So he's gonna turn to the person that's driving the ship. I don't think piloting, steering the ship. And sort of say, what do I do? What do I do?
The guy at the wheel says, tie yourself to the ship, boy. You hear somebody says, splice the main brace.
Gully's going to look around for a rope of some form.
There's various ropes sort of like tied onto various parts of the ship. Notably the edges here, or these parts here. So there's plenty of opportunity to sort of like tie you onto the ship, so you're actually secured onto it.
But he seems to remember them saying something about the steering wheel.
Yeah, he said, lash yourself to the wheel.
So Gully remembers that he's going to get the rope, and with the guy sort of like steering like that with this big wheel, Gully's going to be at the other side of it, and he's going to start lashing himself.
Okay, yeah,
lashing himself to it.
Okay, just roll your brawn skill, please. Well, that's quite good for you, isn't it? So you're fumbling about with the knots and trying to do around a clove hitch with some kind of bow line on it, but it's just sort of like the ropes going everywhere. What about the rest of you? What would you like to do?
Angus is going to make sure he's tied down to the side of the ship where he's standing.
Could you with your pens? Because you should all be able to pick up a pen and you've all got your colour. Could you sort of like draw a little line on the actual boat where you want the end of your rope to be tied onto? Yeah, so your rope will be tied on there. Yeah, got you. Okay, Briggs, do you wish to stay up in the crow's nest, or are you coming down?
I think Briggs is gonna attempt to climb down.
Go for it, athletics.
As he falls from the crow's nest and splats on the...
Oh, look at that! He sort of like nimbly comes down, missing out, and just sort of like the last sort of like 10 foot or something, he just jumps and just sort of like lands and crouches down. Okay, do you wish to...
Is there something I got to do with this?
Say again, sorry?
So I got to tick... Have I got to tick something?
No, that's only if you fail.
fumble. That's a critical. That's you succeeded. Fine, so you're absolutely fine. Whereabouts do you want to lash yourself to? Owen's lashing himself to the main mast.
Yeah, he's probably gonna. He's figured that this is the center of the ship, and is probably gonna be the more steadiest part. So he's gonna do his doing. He's gonna lash himself to.
So you have two choices about how to lash yourself on. So most of the sailors, what you notice that they're doing is actually tying the rope around their middle and then tying themselves onto something so they can still actually move. And you figured the reason for this is that, say for example, the person who's steering the wheel has actually lashed himself virtually to the wheel, Gully. But you think the theory behind this is that, for example, Hengist, if you've got a long piece of rope and that part of the wood boat goes off, you've got a bit of an opportunity to get away from it. Well, if you're sort of like lashed really tightly to something, if the mast goes, you see, you're going with it. You're lashed tightly to it. So a lot of, sorry, go for it.
That's what I was just going to say. That's what Hengist has done. He's copied Lucky, as maybe stupidly and unluckily he's copied Lucky, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So you can actually sort of like move a little bit away out, Hengist, and still sort of like have some movement, but you're actually lashed to the ship at that point. Gully, what are you doing?
Gully's going to say to the person that's steering, he's going to say, can you help me, please? I can't tie the knot. Can you tie the knot for me? Because I don't want to die. And if needs be, he's going to use his influence.
Okay, go for it. He's going to
try to influence the guy to help him.
That's good. I like that.
Oh, he gets it with a standard roll.
The guy sort of like, 45 out of 45. Yeah, he sort of like comes, come here, boy, and he sort of like yanks the rope tight around you and sort of like lashes it on with his power. Briggs and Owen, how are you tying yourself to the? Are you tying yourself to the?
With a bit of slack.
Yeah, I'm not tight that where it's going to restrict me, but tight enough where I'm secure to the mast.
So are you leaving yourself a length of rope to move, or are you tying yourself completely to the mast?
No, I'm not going to leave a length. I'm going to literally tie myself to the mast, but have a little bit of movement.
So you're tied to the mast.
Scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, where they tie themselves upside down to the mast.
Yeah. What about you, Owen? A length of rope or tied to the mast?
A length.
Length. Okay, cool. So, as you can hear, the storm has appeared, and the boat is tossing and turning all over the place. Now, in order to actually sort of like make this almost like real, you're going to have to make sort
gymnastic
of like,
rolls ourselves.
Well, certain athletic rolls in order to keep yourselves on your feet. Otherwise, you will be swept overboard or swept underneath or anything like that. So the boat is sort of like tipping and going sort of like left, right and centre now at the moment. As the storm sort of like all of a sudden is getting more vicious as it goes, as you sort of like the clouds billow up around you. And the boat's literally going from side to side and up and down. So the first thing that you need to do, guys, is that you just need to make either evade rolls or athletic rolls to actually keep yourself on your feet. Apart from Briggs, who's actually tied to the mast.
What about me? I'm tied to the.
Okay, you're fine.
Steering wheel.
So
I can make one if you.
No, that you're tied on to. So the first thing that happens is that with a violent movement of the boat. Hengist, you, as it goes over to one side, Hengist, you just sort of like get swept off your feet and sort of like hurled over to one side. And Owen, the same thing happens to you, and you're sort of like knocked over to one side, and the only thing that's keeping you sort of like from going overboard at the present moment in time is the rope. And that's the only thing that's sort of like keeping you on. Briggs and Gully, you're sort of like strapped to it, and you're just sort of like going with the ship backwards and forwards.
Gully's got his eyes tightly closed.
Yeah, well, the water is just literally lashing down now, and every now and again the ship plunges down into this huge trough, and you could just see this huge wave above you about to crash over. So,
Gully doesn't see. Gully's got his eyes closed, tightly closed.
Tightly closed. Okay, so what we've got coming over now, we've got like a huge wave, sort of like cascading over over the
graphics for it.
No.
Use the white one. That one's cool.
Okay, so the first wave actually is coming onto the ship, almost like it's almost like coming like this way across the boat, across the sort of like the front of the boat. So the first person it's going to hit, Hengist, is you, and you're going to be in the wave of it. So what you need to do is that you need to try to withstand the power of this wave.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a you can use your brawn.
Okay.
Okay, in order to sort of like being stopped, being brushed off your feet with it as it comes crashing over the front of the boat. So this wave is absolutely ginormous, and the power of the wave comes crashing over, and it hits you and Lucky, and it just sort of like takes you. Briggs, you suddenly notice that Hengist comes whizzing past you, and you just whack into that back of the wall, and you take 4 points of damage to your back, which would be straight onto you because you don't have your armor on. So you just need to take that off.
Done.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so you're now prone. Okay, guys, what would you like to do?
Gully's now he's got his eyes closed. He's going to start going, ah! Even though people probably can't hear it over the storm.
Okay, so Gully's just there screaming away to himself. What about the rest of you?
Hengist is going to try and stand up, swearing profusely at the same time.
Okay, you're still actually tethered to that rope, so if you wish to pull yourself closer to it, you can do. Owen?
I was going to reach out to Hengist, but as I say, he's okay and he's pulling himself back. I'll pull myself back to the mast.
Excellent. Let's move your little piece of cloth as well. Okay, so the boat continues to go backwards and forwards, and yet again one of the waves comes crashing over, and it actually comes crashing over in this direction this time, and it seems to be flying straight from the main mast as it comes across, Briggs, and you see it just sort of like cascading over the side of the boat, and you're sort of like tied to the mast as it just sort of like goes straight into you, and because you're tied to the mast you can't actually move out the way of it, you can't dodge or evade, and it just sort of like hits you straight on and almost like pushes you back into the mast, and you actually take 2 points of damage straight to your chest, and it almost like knocks the air out of you. So now you're actually you're now in the state of being winded. Okay, Anybody like to do anything?
Just
look about, make sure the people I can see are okay.
Say again, sorry?
Just look about to see who's in difficulty or...
Well, there's loads of people on the floor. There are people being... for that last wave as it came across, a lot of the sailors are now on the floor and they've been brushed across. Luckily, their tethering rope seems to be keeping everybody actually on the ship at the present moment in time. But there's loads of people sort of like on the floor or trying to do something with the rope work and trying to adjust the mast. Gully, you can see that the guy at the
oh, no, I can't. I've got my eyes closed.
Oh, yeah, well, you can just hear various shouts and screams like, "Keyhole, you scurvy scums!" as water comes over. Hengist, would you like to do anything?
Hengist is going to make sure that his rope is tied on nice and securely by giving it a couple of quick tugs.
And then, is that it?
That's it. That's all he's doing.
Okay. So you notice that Owen, sorry, did you want to do anything to any of the sailors?
If anybody's in difficulty and they're in reach, I will reach out to grab them and try and secure them.
Okay then. So as the next wave comes over the boat, it's actually coming across like that. It's actually coming across that side of the boat. So Hengist, it sort of like pushes you like anything. So just make an athletics roll to keep stood up. And Owen, there are several there's 2 or 3 sailors who are going to be in the direct line of it. If you would like to grab any of it, Hengist goes rushing past you on the opposite.
If I can reach Hengist, I'll try and reach Hengist.
Okay, yeah. So just make your brawn roll to grab hold of him and pull him up. Briggs, you notice a couple of sailors gets hit by this wave, and you notice that they come straight past you and actually head straight this way, and you notice that 2 of them sort of like go over the side of the boat, so like going screaming as they go. So we're not screaming, more like shouting. And you hear this ship's captain sort of like shout, "Men overboard!" like that. You notice that their ropes are taut because they were actually tied to it. Oh, you managed to get Hengist and sort of like pull him up to his feet. So you are up now. Okay, guys, what would you like to do?
Hengist will try and get to, now that he's standing up, will try and make his way to the nearest of the 2 taut ropes. If it's within his reach, his rope.
Yeah, they're actually.
And if it is, he's going to start tugging on it.
Yeah, they're actually tied on here.
Okay, so I
you
can't
see,
reach them.
yeah, so the men were actually here at the length of their rope when the wave crashed them over. So you probably can do if you untie yourself, but from where you are at the moment, you can only sort of like get up to where Briggs is.
In that case, seeing this, Hengist is going to brace himself on the stairs like that while shouting, "Thank you, Owen!"
Say again, sorry. I didn't catch that. What did you say?
He thanks Owen. He shouts
yeah.
at the top of his voice, "Thanks, Owen." And he's going to sort of like grab hold of the banisters of the stairs next to him as well. To brace himself on that.
Cool. Briggs, what would you like to do?
Yeah, there's nothing I can do really. I'm tied to the mast.
Okay then, so
there's always stuff you can do.
You remain tied to the mast. You notice that several of the sailors, sort of like there's actually a couple of them from your side, Hengist, that actually untie themselves from the side of the ship in an attempt to save their sea crew, their fellow crewmates. And you notice that they come sort of like twirling across to here and frantically try to start hauling these almost like lifelines back up as the boat sways backwards and forwards. And after a while, you notice that you can actually see sort of like bedraggled hands up on the rail as they sort of like pull their crewmate over the back. Gully, all of a sudden, you don't see this, but there's a horrific splash of water, okay, that sort of like hits your back. You take 1 point of damage in your chest, and everybody, Briggs, Owen and Hengist, you notice that almost like the ship's been slightly turned, and you notice that a huge wave splash has gone over the side, and you sort of like hits the wheel person, the person steering the ship, and Gully, and it just sort of like cascades over you. You go sort of like get yanked on the ship wheel, Gully. That makes you sort of like open your eyes as you get pulled at it, and you notice that it would appear that the guy behind the wheel has actually been hit by this whale and has obviously knocked his head on one of the wheel beams, the battens, and just seems to be quite limp, sort of like in his tying of his ropes. You hear the captain's mate shout, "Shorten the mainsail!" And several of the sailors start to run around frantically trying to do it. What would you like to do, Gully?
From being strapped to this wheel, and can I get any indication of which way the steerer was trying to keep the wheel?
Yes, but make an insight roll. Oh yes, most definitely. You, with that critical success, you think he's actually trying to steer the boat into the waves, because if the boat actually got tied and turned and was actually hit broadside with the wave, the chances are it would actually capsize the boat altogether. So he's actually trying to drive it into...
I don't know anything about which way, but I'm going to try to turn the wheel whichever way he was trying to turn it, with me feeling which way it was going when he was...
You'll have to... because you're tied to the wheel the wrong way round, aren't you? Did he strap you to...
I'm on the other side that he was.
Yeah, so did he tie you facing the wheel or not? Can you see what I mean?
I would have been facing him.
Yeah, so you're going to have to untie yourself because you're facing the wrong... You're facing... sorry, that's not a wave. You're facing... and I might be wrong here. Are you facing that way? And the boat is going that way?
I am facing... Yeah, I'm facing that way, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to have to sort of like get round because you can't see where you're going.
Right. Okay.
So you're probably going to have to untie yourself.
Okay. I'll start to try to untie myself then.
Okay, and then you'll end up here. Okay, anybody on the deck want to do anything else? Well, Gully's untying himself.
Nope.
No, okay then. So Gully, you manage to untie yourself and bring yourself round to the wheel. So you're in charge now. You're going to have to maneuver this and sort of like make sure that it's going in the right direction, which of course means that you're going to...
willpower check.
No, I don't think it is. You'll need that wonderful boating.
Boating or brawn, is it?
Boating.
They're the same. It doesn't really...
Am
I rolling it now?
Yes, you are. Okay, so you heave ho this wheel, and you just can't turn the ship at all. It's just sort of like the whole wheel is just too heavy for you to actually turn it at all. And then you suddenly notice that you've got extra hands, and you suddenly see the familiar figure of the captain near you, and he sort of like helps you pull the wheel round onto sort of like a direction, which sort of like makes the next wave sort of like cascade over the front of the ship rather than capsizing it. On the main deck, guys, as you guys sort of like stand there, there's a lot of action going on. There's people pulling in the ropes to bring in the sails as ordered, and there's various people sort of like going overboard and being dragged on board as you guys just stand there and sort of like watch the general carnage that's going on. And then all of a sudden, the boat seems to drift into what can only be explained as some kind of maybe an eye of the storm. You can see the clouds sort of like forming a circular sphere around this place, and there's even sun is breaking through at this point, and all the bedraggled sailors sort of like look up, and you can see that several of them have actually got things like broken arms from their heroic attempts to sort of like rescue people, and Lucky's still there, hanging on, as his name would suggest. And you can see in sort of like the middle of this sort of like almost like eye of the storm is a tiny boat. And when I say a tiny boat, it's almost like a canoe or like a rowing boat that you would see on the park. And it just seems to be floating there. And stood on the boat, it appears to be a rather elderly woman. She seems to be dressed in robes. She seems to be carrying a staff, and she's got grey hair that doesn't look bedraggled. It looks more almost like styled, and it almost like seems as if it doesn't look disturbed by the wind or anything like that. And the ship that you're on sort of like gently sort of like floats almost like towards her boat, and her boat sort of like gently floats towards the port side of yours, as if there's no movement, no sort of like wind or anything, as if they're two magnets that are attracting themselves to each other. And the captain sort of like turns to you, Gully, and sort of like pats you on the back and says, "Good job, lad. Good job."
I drove the boat.
And sort of like says to you, let's see what's going on down here.
I drove it.
And he sort of like heads down to the side of the boat where this other boat just seems to come up quite gently, and then just almost like taps against the side of the boat, and you hear almost like this muttering underneath. And, and then she sort of like this old woman sort of like clambers up the side of the boat, and she sort of like looks round to the captain, and the captain says, Who are you? And the old woman says, she says, I am Lady Miko. And all I can say, gentlemen, is that you took your time. And we will leave it there for tonight, or for this adventure. So, I will now let you have the opportunity to say who you are and where people can find you. Off you go.
Hello, I'm Chugawugga. I've been playing Gully. You can normally find me here alternate Mondays when I do Mithras, RuneQuest, and Tuesdays when I play Shadowrun, and then normally in Wills's stream on other days where I act as a moderator.
And thank you very much for that.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
You're a very good moderator. Excellent. Who's next?
I am Big Beastie. I have been playing Brigs. You can catch me in my own channel, streaming whenever I can be bothered.
Who did some very good bow work today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And crow's nest work. Well done. Yeah.
I'm throwing up.
You can also find me here on Tuesdays playing Shadowrun with Longshanks and Chuggerwugger. Or you can find me here on Saturday, alternate Saturdays?
We're meant to be playing this Saturday, but I'm not too sure whether or not who's going to be here. But it's well done for reminding me, Big Beastie, because I need to put it out to see who's actually going to be here and who's not. So brilliant. Yeah, thank you.
Saturday's playing D&D.
Yes. Yeah.
We can be, you can find me in this channel just lurking and just lurking.
What was the game? What was the game you were playing the other day? On Saturday. Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead and then PlayerUnknown Battleground.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead. That looked quite like a shoot 'em up game.
That's a really fun game.
Yeah, excellent. They had a lot of witches in it, I noticed.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah.
Too many witches, too many tanks.
Excellent. And who's next?
Hi guys, I am Longshanks EPG. When I'm not at work, you can find me playing Mithras every other Mondays. Shadowrun, I think it's 3 out of 4 Tuesdays a week in this channel. And Saturdays playing D&D again in this channel.
Excellent. And Sprocketeer.
Hi, I'm Sprocketeer. I'm here playing Mithras every other Monday. Saturdays D&D in the same place. Sundays Fuzzy Mushroom Blues stream for Curse of Strahd, where I didn't die this week. Monday night 11 p.m. we're doing first edition AD&D and Skaggath stream, and this week we're starting basic D&D.
Oh, how exciting!
At about the same time as well, also in Skaggath stream. And Fridays we're going to be doing Tomb of Annihilation.
Oh yeah, I started to watch that on Roll20 app.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a fantastic adventure.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Excellent. So my name's been Ian Wills, and I've been DMing for this crowd. We've been playing Mithras tonight, Mithras or RuneQuest 6, depending what you would like to call it. We have encountered them encountering a battle against a giant scorpion, and arm wrestling matches, being a crew on a ship, and also withstanding the mighty elemental forces of a storm at sea, and where Gully actually managed to drive the ship. And next week, drive the boat. Sorry. And then next time we play, we will probably find out who this strange, unusual lady called Lady Miko is, and why she was waiting in the middle of the ocean in a storm for the party to arrive. Until then, I would like to say to each and every one of you, have fun, guys, and I'll catch you all later. And until then, consider yourself well and truly waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.